I don't know what the charge is.
Sending a body out to sea on fire has got to be illegal in some capacity.
It's not legal. They're not going to do that.
Okay.
So plan B would be...
Go on.
So plan B... It's none of our business. 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 Welcome to It's Really None of Our Business with Monica and Amanda.
This is a show where we open a cheap bottle of wine, sometimes expensive if Monica's feeling classy.
Yeah.
And we're going to attempt to solve the problems of the world.
Yeah, and today's problem, and I do think of this as a problem. I think about this a stupid amount of time, and I've asked people this before. So, tipping. Okay. How much money do you tip? Okay, now I think restaurants are easy. I'm a really good restaurant tipper.
What's your rule for restaurants?
I tend to do 20. I tend to go right to the 20. And if you suck, you know, if you come to the table and you just say to me like, "How was your meal?" and you've interacted twice, you're probably going to get 18. Mm-hmm. And if you suck really, really hard, I'm still going to tip you. Like you're going to get
15 maybe, yeah.
If you suck really bad and I've only seen you one time, you didn't ask me any questions, you're probably going to get 10 because I'm angry with you. Yeah. But I'm still going to tip.
Okay.
Are you the same?
I'm the same with restaurants.
Hair.
Yes.
Hair. My daughter just went and got her hair done and she said 8 hours at the hair salon where 8. So Amanda has dark hair too, and she stripped it. And then they made it blonde, and then they dyed it different shades of pink. Okay. So she's got this really cool, funky hair, and it ended up costing seriously $400,
including tip or tip on top.
I think there was tip included in that price. So let's just say that it was like I said, how much did you tip? And I think she said $30, and I'm thinking how much?
That's not enough to tip on $400.
Yeah, but how much do you? So normally my hair costs about $150 to $200. Am I going to tip 20% on that?
No, I do run into that issue sometimes. I'll never forget the one time I went and got an oil change at one of those drive-through places, and they had the tip button, and I wasn't paying attention, and I hit 20% because I'm used to tipping at a restaurant. Yeah. But it was 20% on $150 for some guy to change my oil.
For 20 minutes.
He was a nice guy and everything, but
come on.
I drove away going, idiot. And I did that actually. I was just paying recently for laser hair removal. So it was $400 and I hit the button to tip them. I think I did the 18% button or 15%. You? And she goes, "Are you sure?" And at that point I was like, you know what? Because they had gone above and beyond and they had given me a couple free extra services. So right then I made the split decision. Okay, I actually don't mind paying you extra. I do think you deserve it. But it was a mistake. I'm like, fuck. And that's the problem with some of those, the weird tipping situations. The hairdresser. There should
be a rule.
The hairdresser thing. Yeah. It's why don't you just charge me what it costs? Why do I have to tip?
Right.
Because then you're in I just got my hair done recently and I tipped her $75, but it was because we talked about this. I was blown away by her. Happy. I was like, you're just so good at your job and I want you to know that.
Okay, so I tend to go and I get my roots done every 6 weeks and I tend to go to Chatters and I tend to go, I don't care who's going to do it. Just come and fucking do my hair. And so sometimes it costs me $110 and sometimes it costs me $200 because of who's doing it.
You do that every 6 weeks. You're so high maintenance.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
At least every 2 months because I've got fucking gray hair. Just wait till you get old. You'll see. So depending on the level of stylist, an entry-level stylist will charge you an entry level and a senior stylist will charge you more. They're doing the exact same thing. They're covering up my fucking roots. I'm sitting in the chair for an hour while they're off fucking off somewhere. And then I'm thinking at the end, I tend to give them $20. If you charge me $110, $20. If you charge me $200, $20. Because it's
Yeah.
Well, maybe an hour and a half by the
Yeah.
time, but they're not standing there over me the whole time, and some of them don't even talk to me.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it really does depend on the level of service you're getting. And I guess that's the purpose of tipping is like it encourages them to be, more interactive
and that's
to get
it.
the
Like,
better
what
tip.
what is tipping for? What are you paying for?
I don't know. Like, have you ever, some of those like countries that like have a no tipping kind of policy, even at restaurants? I'm like, that would just be so much easier.
Okay, so you go to the US, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, and you go on something like I've done stuff like in Oregon where you're going on jet boats on the river, and
Oh,
or you
yeah.
go on the dunes, the sand dunes, and so then you have a driver,
Yeah.
and they drive, and you're paying a lot for the
Yeah.
experience. Like,
Yeah.
it's like $150 a person to
Yeah.
go, and you're like, woo, let's go and do
And then
this,
you have to
and
tip
then
them.
and at the end they're like, and our drivers get paid by tip, and I'm like, I just fucking paid $150 US, and I have to tip for
And
this.
the majority of the time, I don't think ahead and I never have cash on me. So
No.
then I end up not tipping them. Like, it's the
Yeah.
same with, if you, let's say we're doing a limo somewhere, a limo to a Christmas party or
Yeah.
something, right? Everybody kind of either pitches or whatever the situation is. You've already paid for it. And then the day of, it's like, we got to tip the driver. I'm like, why couldn't it just be in the price? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to have,
Yeah.
like, especially on a night out, I don't carry cash
Okay,
ever.
in Canada, if you went bungee jumping, so you went to Canada Olympic Park where they have bungee jumpings, and you'd go to the cashier, you'd pay your $100, you'd do your jump, and then you'd be done. You would not think of tipping the bungee jumper guy.
That's a good point.
But in
what
the
if,
US or Mexico, you
in
would.
Mexico you do. But what
You
if
would.
it was like in Canada, there's got to be a call me, I'll take you on a hike tour. It's $50 a person. We'll meet up at the bottom. Pack your own lunch. We'll go for a hike. I'll be your guided tour. And on the tour, we go for a walk, a boop-a-doop-a-doo. You would tip that guy, and that's Canada. I think it depends on the transaction, like how it works. Because it's the bungee jump thing that you're saying is like you go to the cashier and do it.
And they're paying their
They
their
pay their
employees $15 an hour or whatever
to make sure you're safe, but it's not like a guided tour.
But in the US, I find that they want you, like, I've even been at the airport where they have like luggage conveyor belts at the street level, and the guy will picks up your luggage and puts it on the conveyor belt, and he wants a tip. Like, I just don't think about tipping every single person.
No, like you go to Mexico and like when you go to an all inclusive, you're going to be tipping a lot. So
I'm drinking this.
do it.
I'm doing it.
So we bring, I bring a lot of like tipping money for
In Mexico.
in
I
Mexico
do.
for
Yeah.
sure. But then, yeah, if I'm in the States, I don't even think of that because I'm a Visa person. I
Yeah.
tap everything. I literally don't even have a wallet. Like I
Me
just
too.
have my cards in the back of my phone.
Yeah.
That's all I carry. So I don't ever have cash. So like until people have chips that I can just tap my card, I'm not tipping those kind of people very often unless I think ahead and like plan to bring them
Okay,
money.
now let's go to have you ever been to like Subway and you order a Subway sandwich, and the only thing that they're doing for you is slapping a sandwich
Yeah.
together? Do you give them 20%?
No, but in like
Do you
like
give them anything?
at Subway? No, never.
Mm-hmm.
Even sometimes when I do takeout orders, like the other day I picked
order
up
something, yeah.
Vietnamese and it was a takeout order. And I ordered it online though, and they want me to
Tip
there was a
them.
tip option, and I was like, well fuck, if I put no tip, are you gonna think I suck and put less work into my food?
Yeah.
So I did 15%. But it was fully just like I just picked up the food.
Yeah.
I went in there, they were very polite.
So you're paying the same amount of tip the person that you're not. The tip is for service. So you're just giving them money to
Yeah.
make. So when in the beginning, when I started seeing tips at things like Starbucks
Yeah.
and shit, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But then I thought, you know what? Like, I'm buying a $5 coffee. Yeah, okay, I'll give you 50 cents. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll make this person a little bit happier.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing
So
that.
logistically though, let's think about how that works. You're paying with your card, you add 50 cents onto it. So when they cash out at the end of the night, they're going to reconcile what they sold in the till based on how much they put through the Visa machine. Whatever the difference is, let's call it tips. So then they take that and they like divide it between the staff who work
Probably.
that day. Is
Yeah.
that how they do
Yeah.
it? So it's like you're not really even tipping that nice cashier who made your drink and talked to you about the weather. You're just like giving extra money to, which is fine. but it's like it's not even working the way that like
It's intended, yeah.
because
I
that
know.
person could do a really shitty job and you well fuck that I'm not tipping, but like you're kind of punishing everybody then. And the same with if they do a really good job, you're
So let's
rewarding
talk
it.
about not tipping. So have you, I mean, I've never gone to maybe I have, and just not tipped. Like service is so bad.
I can't think of a specific time. I'm sure there was at least once,
Yeah.
but very rarely. Even if service is so bad, I'm still tipping a little
So
bit.
my daughter used to in Calgary work in a high-end restaurant, and she says some people are just complete dicks, and no matter how hard you work for them, they're like they don't leave you a tip. And the problem with that, she said, is that they like the restaurant itself will take the tip off
Yeah.
of you. So
You have to tip out the
you have to tip out the
bus
house.
boys and yeah.
It's called tipping out the house. So
Yeah.
there's a percentage of your total check that will go towards tipping the house.
Yeah.
And if you don't make it, they'll just take it out of your other tips.
Yeah.
So she's actually had to say to people, oh, like, was your service bad? Like, you know, like, is there a reason? Like, she's had to say, is there a reason why?
I would love to just not have to deal with that. Like, just,
Right.
like, you know, those places, like I just said, that they just pay their staff a little bit more, charge a little bit more
Wouldn't
for the
you
meal.
be so happy? Like, now, this is really, truly solving the problems of the world.
But honestly,
Yeah.
so why can't it be that way here? Like, I think
This is the first problem that we've managed to solve.
but it's true though,
Yeah.
because even I've been to places where tipping isn't necessary and you feel weird. Like, am I supposed to be tipping you? Like, have you ever been somewhere that's like gratuity included? I can't think of an example right off the top of my head.
Well,
but
like say for instance, well, I would say gratuity is sometimes included in large dinners. Like if you're going
Yeah.
with more, and I won't tip on top of that.
no.
That's great, but then you're
Yeah.
still seeing that 15%.
Yeah.
But I once had a hairdresser who owned the shop, and she says, "I do not take tips."
Yeah.
And okay,
I
so
want that.
so this is something else that I've done. I've had my lashes done. So you go to somebody's house, and this
Mhm.
makes me fucking crazy. You go to somebody's house, and they're doing your lashes. They have the ability to charge me whatever they want.
Yeah.
Right?
Why am I tipping you?
Why am I tipping you? And for the first few years that I did it, like I'd go to different people's houses, I would say that. Charge me what you want. I'm not going to tip you.
You would say that?
I did. Yeah. So like
I
if
feel
you
like that's such an awkward conversation.
It-
I wish I had the guts to do that.
but so I say to them, like, if you want to charge me, you know, $50 for a refill, and that's what you think you're worth, that's what I'm going to pay you. If you want to charge me $65 because you're thinking people, please just tell me,
100%, yeah.
I just want to pay you the same thing every time.
yeah.
And they would be like, no, I just pay me the 50. And so the conversation didn't really work. But in somebody's house, I really feel like if there's no overhead
Yeah.
charges, right?
Other than their house expenses, but yeah.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
charge me what you think your service is worth.
100%
So
agree.
for massage, I'm not tipping, and maybe you should, but I don't. Like, would you tip your chiropractor?
No.
No. So you're definitely not tipping for a
I
chiropractor.
do tip my massage though.
But it's the same thing. Like they're being paid a lot of money for a
Yeah.
service, and I don't feel the need to pay for a medical service and tip
Charge me more.
because I go to like so if I go to a massage, if I go get a massage, I'm going to a clinic,
Yeah.
right? Where it's expensive
Yeah.
and I'm paying them that $100 or whatever to
Yeah.
do. I'm not fucking paying, and maybe that sounds cheap. I don't know, but
No, I know what you mean. Like I feel the same way. It's
Yeah.
very tipping is
like
so
I'm gonna tip the girl who does my Brazilian. I'm not gonna tip the guy who massages my back.
Yeah, like so what's the difference?
I
Why
don't
can't she just
know.
charge you?
She should.
She should charge you more.
Yeah.
So I used to go to this place for a Brazilian and you would pay I would buy like 4 at a time and I would get a punch card. So then, you know, you'd go the
And then
second
you
or
have
third
to
time.
leave $10.
But I wouldn't because I tipped on the entire amount.
Okay.
When I bought it, I would tip, you know, whatever percentage I thought was necessary at the time. Probably I'm stupid. I'd hit the 20%, but whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, I've already paid for this. I've already tipped you. But when I go in, she sees 1 million people. Is she going to remember that 4 months ago I
No.
already tipped her?
And
Does she
you're-
think I'm a cheapskate? Or does she, like, I don't carry cash. Like, what do you want me to do?
Like, I think that tipping needs to stop in all restaurants, all services, and we just pay people more.
Yeah.
Like for services, I will gladly pay $15 on top of the service.
Yeah.
Gladly.
And then you don't have that awkward.
How much do I tip?
What do I do? Do you ever go out for group dinners? Like, this is all only happened when I was younger, and everybody would pay, and then like at the end we'd all count out the money, and like somebody obviously didn't tip. So
Yes, and then someone else
then
has
you have to throw in extra money, and nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
I like now if I do a group, I would way rather just like. Restaurants are a lot better with splitting checks now.
They are.
But if you end up with one big check, sometimes I'm like, I'll just take it because I don't want to deal with the awkwardness.
And everybody just transfer me the money.
Or I'll just pay it, like depending on the mood I'm in. Like if sometimes I'm feeling generous.
I'm going out for dinner with you. Holy.
Let's go for lunch.
Let's go for lunch. Yeah. Because Amanda's paying.
And then you'll be like, oh yeah, just one bill's fine. She's
Okay.
got it.
I would love to know what everybody else feels about tipping. What do you do? Are we right? Like, wouldn't it be great if there was some like no tipping? We don't tip in this country. It's included in the price. I would even say raise the minimum wage. And I know we're probably going to get a whole bunch of people going, fuck no for that.
Well, yeah, let's hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
Though. Comment on our Instagram, on
subscribe,
our Facebook.
Talk to us on Facebook. We're gonna post this on Facebook, and I'd love to hear your comments.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's do a wine and what the fuck.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to Wine and What the Fuck.
This is the part of the show where we scour the internet and we find the stories that make us go, what the fuck?
And we drink wine, which is also a very important part of the show because we like to drink wine.
We do. And, you know, if you've been following our journey, you know that we started with like $6 bottles, $7 bottles. We've even dabbled in $80 bottles.
Yeah.
Today, what do we got?
We got a $13 bottle of, pronounce that for me. How would you say that?
Undurraga.
Yeah.
It's a Cab Sav from Chile. Chile's good. I like chili wine.
Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see what we think.
Cheers, me.
Cheers. Tell me what notes you taste in this.
Blackberry?
Blackberry. Yeah. I do feel I do. Yeah. It's very light.
Yeah, it's smooth.
I'd call this an easy, smooth wine.
Yeah, I don't mind this.
I don't mind it. I think it's worth the $13.
Yeah. It's nice to have. Sometimes, like, if you're drinking wine, like, quite often during the week, you can't spend $80 or $60 or $40 a bottle. Like,
well, not on what we're paid.
No. Well, it's true. It's so funny the things that I'm cheap about. Like, I don't spend money on anything else. I might as well just buy lots of good wine.
What are you cheap on and what are you not
I'm cheap on booze for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go to the liquor store and I want to buy beer, I'm kind of picky on beer now too, but I'll only buy it if it's on sale. I don't know why. Like I'll be like, well, nothing's on sale. I guess I'm not buying anything today. But I also go through the process of like stocking my house up, right? I'm not buying. If it was a specific occasion I was needing beer for, I would just buy whatever I wanted. But I do it with groceries.
Are you cheap with your groceries?
I plan my meals around what's on sale.
Wow.
So I go to the grocery store and I just like whatever's on sale. Like I know what a good price of apples is. Like,
what do you spend on groceries a week?
Oh, it's hard to say. I spend a lot.
I'm ridiculous.
Yeah, I've added it up before. I think when I added it up it was summertime, so summer we're buying a lot more because we were hosting parties and stuff. But I was $1,400 a month last summer.
You know, because I'm thinking, oh, Matt is going to think I'm crazy, but I'm thinking that I bet you just for me, Greg, and his son Riley in the house, I spend, because my part of the bills here is groceries, $1,200 for the three of us. And that is just, you know, that's just, that's my weekly grocery store trip. That's not can you stop and buy milk as well?
Yeah.
You know?
I do a lot of stocking up. So I'll do a big Costco run, which is sometimes $400. And then that's usually good for a bit, but then I'm going to have to go and get a couple of fresh things later that week. So it'll be, you know, another $100 here or there. Like I'm probably not quite as high as I was last summer when I added it, but definitely over $1,000 a month for sure.
It's insane what we spend on
I'm
groceries.
also like really good at budgeting. Like I'm a good grocery shopper. I will only buy things on sale. I just plan my meals around.
Okay,
what's
but
on sale.
then do you buy shit? Like, are you the person who goes, oh, that cereal's on sale. It's like half what it normally is, but we don't eat that, but I'm going to buy 5 boxes because it's only $2.
I've done that before, but not anymore. Now I know what we're going to eat and what we don't.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's say it's mostly with the fresh stuff or the meat, right? So if pork tenderloin is on like
Fair.
a half price
Yeah.
sale, I'll buy 3 or 4 of them, stick them in the freezer.
That's a good idea.
And so my grocery bill is higher because I bought 4 pork but I don't need that many. But I
Yeah.
have a huge deep freeze, and then I just always have a bunch of meat. So, and sometimes I go through this thing where I like want to remember how much I spent because I'm like proud of myself for getting good deals. So I'll like
I get
vacuum
that.
seal it and I'll write on it what I spent. 'Cause
Really?
I just want to remind myself that this was only $3. Like, and then I feel good. I don't know. It's just one of those. weird
I
things.
definitely do that when I think, okay, I got this meat on sale, and I'm thinking, I just made this meal for $10,
Yeah.
and I fed 3 of us for
Yeah.
$10. Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Here, I'll give you an example. When you
Okay.
guys came over the other night and I made that brisket, it was
Mhm.
$50, which is like, it was a huge, I got it half price. I felt so proud of myself.
And we didn't even eat a
We
quarter
barely
of
touched it.
Yeah.
So I made that brisket, and then I made brisket tacos the next day. I made brisket tacos another day to
My
freeze
God,
the
people
amount.
are like, I ate brisket again. I'm gonna hurl.
Well,
right?
it's all in my freezer.
Okay.
I made brisket chili. This is all gone
like
in
you,
the freezer.
like you've just made it all.
I made brisket beef and broccoli. So
Wow.
it was, I just used it up. So now I have all this stuff in my freezer, and I fed us for like so many meals. And I'm like, that was from a $50 piece of meat. Like,
I'm like looking at you in
and
awe.
the broccoli was on sale for the beef and broccoli. I wouldn't have, I just like,
It was old broccoli. It was brown.
well, it was a little rotten, or I just cut the mold off. But this is what I do. I like go to, okay, broccoli is, you know, $2. So I buy that. I'm like, okay, what am I going to make this week? I've got brisket and I have broccoli. Oh, I have an idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just
That's
how
great.
I cook, because I hate throwing food out and I hate spending a lot of money on food. So I'm like, asparagus is on sale. Or if like Carson, what do you want for dinner? He'll be like, I don't know, like steak. And I'm like, steak wasn't on sale, so sorry about your luck.
Yeah,
You're
pork
getting,
chops or chicken.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whatever happens to be, oh, steak was on sale. It's your lucky day.
I definitely
I
do
spit
will
on
go through, like, I tend to buy my meat at Costco and go, okay, well, this is on sale, so I will buy it this week, but I don't buy in bulk, which I should.
Do you guys
because
have a deep freeze?
yeah, so
What?
I should. Yeah, I should.
crazy.
You're right. I should start buying.
If something's
I
on
think
sale,
it's because
you-
I want to buy, like, I buy my fresh meat for the week and I just use it up.
Oh,
That's what I do.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get anything out of the freezer and cook it. I just think, okay, what am I gonna make? I need 4 different meats this week, and this is what I'm doing.
No.
I'm doing it all wrong,
You're
apparently.
Doing it all wrong.
God, I need to learn from the
Yeah,
best.
I feel like at one point I had this, I'm like, how can I like teach people my meal planning? And then I was like, I don't even really have a teachable method. It's mostly like go grocery shopping.
Do you ever like? I had a friend who used to actually meal plan. Like she'd say Monday, chili. Tuesday,
I've gone through
chicken,
those phases.
chicken tacos.
I go through those phases. Sometimes I even have a board on my wall with like it's like
Wow.
a dry erase thing. But it's like I don't need to. I do it in my head now, and I just like I've been cooking for so many years, and I've been meal
Yeah.
planning for my family for so many years now. I'm just like it comes second nature to me. Like I just go, what do I have in the fridge? Okay, well I've got some peppers that are like about to go bad, so we
Yeah.
need to use. So tonight's gonna have peppers. Okay, well
Yeah,
I
I
pulled
do that too.
sausage out of the freezer earlier. Okay, well what am I gonna do with this? Like I just like figure it out. Like and sometimes they suck. Sometimes it's good. Like,
Sometimes it's like, yeah, this was it. This is not a do-over.
and I'm just lucky that Carson's like it's food. He does not care. Like last night's dinner was like average. I had some cabbage I wanted, so I like made cabbage fried rice, and it was fine. Like it was whatever. It was good. It was whatever. But
Sometimes I get so sick and tired of my own cooking. Like I tend to, you have like
Yeah.
your typical, I'm going to say 10 different things that you cook.
yeah,
This
Yeah.
and this and this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
oh,
then
yeah.
sometimes I'm just so sick of my cooking, but can't even be bothered to look at a cookbook because
that's
I
why I
just want to
started
eat.
doing. Did you ever do the HelloFresh boxes?
I have, my sister used to do them. I've never done them myself.
Honestly, I the first few times I opened it up, I got like a super smoking deal. Like my sister got me free
Yeah.
boxes or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So I might as well try it. Open up the bag and I'm like 1 carrot. Like I'm like I literally have all of these ingredients in my house.
Like,
right now.
why am I getting
But
this?
I read the recipe card and it was like the way of cooking, the way of throwing it together, the way that they prep their food. It actually has taught me a couple new things, and I'm like sort of into it. It's like you're still doing the work, but it's a different person's recipe. And I don't know. I actually am kind of into it. Like,
But it's expensive. Don't you find
you
that?
can get such good deals. Like they're always sending you discount codes and stuff. I'll never pay the full price for it, but I wait. You can just skip every week.
So you do it.
I do, and I actually like it. I've done the chef's plate one too.
Which
And-
one do you recommend? We'll see if we can get them to become our sponsor.
Join HelloFresh.
Today's sponsor.
I like them both. I think they're both equal. I've only done chef's plate once. HelloFresh I've done.
If you
countless
did
times.
it all your meals, how would you save money? Like we just said, I spent $1,000 a month on groceries, $1,200.
Without the discounts, I think.
If you did dinner every night for 30 days, what would that cost you?
Oh God, I gotta do the quick math. Let me just.
Like, what is it? What is it a meal? Isn't it like $10 per person or something?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Like to me,
so
that's like.
I've never paid the full amount though, so I can't. I don't really know. I'd have to sit down and look at it. I don't think it's cheaper.
No,
but
not if you're thinking. Well, you wouldn't pay 4 times that because you got little kids.
But well, that's the thing. I did the family menu a few times, and the kids like won't eat it anyways. So I now have cut it down to just the 2-person portion size. I feed me and Carson, then I make the kids whatever, like whatever they're gonna eat. But what it does is it gives you the recipe cards. And now you have like these, it's like an inspiration thing. It just gives me that inspiration. Like it's good for people who probably don't know how to cook and don't know their way in a kitchen, kitchen.
And people like you and me who do know how to cook, but I'm so tired of my 15 different meals or 20 different meals that I cook. Like I'm tired of my cooking.
I was like, oh, I remember I made this one taco thing. Like, what did they do with their sour cream again? So I like pulled out the recipe card. I'm like, oh yeah, adding lime zest to sour cream. Like, delicious. Yeah. Like it gives that extra, like it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways.
I agree.
What the fuck?
Let's do what the fuck.
We did it again.
We always do, but I don't think it was that long, was it?
9 minutes and 48
seconds. Oh, that's good. That's good. We can just keep going.
Okay, what do you got?
All right. So for today's what the fuck, this person is an asshole, in my opinion. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Way to like pollute my brain already.
Well,
make the decision for me.
Can we rewind that? What do you think? Okay. This is labeled, am I the asshole if I want to keep the heirloom wedding ring and not pass it down? So I adore the ring because my first husband gave it to me after getting it from his mother. He died of cancer 4 years after we got married. I later remarried after some time and have been with my husband for a little under 20 years. I don't wear it on my finger anymore, and I have it next to my first husband's ashes. I never intended to give it up, but first husband's mother, who gave him the ring, mentioned it to my son that he should propose one day with the wedding ring. It's been passed down 3 generations. I understand why it's important for tradition's sake, but the ring means more to me now than following the tradition. My son didn't know about it being an heirloom ring, and he has been dating a man for 6 years now. So he's dating a man, right? He's a gay man. He hasn't asked for it directly, but did start asking what I would do with the ring. It only started after his grandmother told him. I told him I'll be buried with it. Aww. And he seems disappointed. Word got back to his grandmother, and she's angry at me for the choice. She called me and berated me about it. Am I the asshole?
Kind of.
Like, come on.
I can see. Okay, so she wasn't married to her first husband very long, and he died, and it sucked. She was sad about it. Left her with little kids, probably. Like, if, she had kids with him. She's probably heartbroken and really, like, this is a piece. But, like, you've got his ashes. You have the memory. Yeah. It's not really it's part of the other. Like, you were only in the life.
It's a heirloom piece, right? So it was
like 4 years. She said
4 years.
You're only married to him for 4 years. Like, the people who originally had that ring, they should get it back. It's, like, if you were married to him for 30 years, I still would be like, pass it down, you goddamn bitch. But like, I would see more of her side. But 4 years.
But for her to say, I'd rather be buried with the ring than give it to my son.
Would he must want to, like, he would repurpose it to make it a man's ring.
Well, he doesn't say, but my guess is that he's loving the tradition. Like, if I'm thinking about it's been in the family for 4 generations, right? This ring.
And I'm breaking it, even though I'm not really in this family anymore. Like, I just happen to have kids that are part. Like, that's a selfish, weird.
That is like stopping a tradition. It is like,
what does her new husband think? You're gonna be married with your ex-husband's ring? Like, hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, that's a weird thing to do too, isn't it? Like that'd be like you saying you're going to be buried with your ex wedding ring.
Yes.
What would Greg say?
That's exactly what that's saying.
What would Greg say to that?
Oh my God. Me and Greg had a conversation yesterday about, because of the coffin. Like we have posted something on our Facebook page. Check it out. So I posted these glitter coffins, and someone was like, you can be buried in this coffin made of glitter, and Amanda like lost her mind.
Because it's disgusting.
And I think, you know what I immediately thought of? I'm like, oh my God, I want to be burned up in this coffin, and I want to have glitter mixed
In your ashes.
in my ashes. But
Okay.
then I've discovered it'd be way cheaper just to throw some sexy glitter in there, like like
I'll
not.
just go to the craft store and get some glitter.
Yeah, but I want the stuff that the whores wear. Sorry, not the whores. with the
Too
strippers.
late, you said it. You said it.
Strippers. The stripper whores wear.
Slut shaming. She is slut shaming.
But, is whore a bad word? I guess it is. Okay, I'm gonna rewind that. Okay, I want stripper glitter mixed in with my ashes. Okay, and I said, and I want to be distributed on Texade Island.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is the difference between regular glitter and stripper glitter?
Okay, so when I think of regular glitter, I think of the stuff that kids use. And
Yeah.
you get the glue, and then you get the glitter, and it's really big. The glitter's really big. It's like bigger glitter, right?
Kid glitter is big glitter?
It's big glitter.
No. There's definitely small glitter.
Okay, so stripper glitter is like you
Shimmer.
and you put it on your face,
It's
and
like
you
a
just
cream, like a...
yeah, and then you like shine.
Okay, so you want goopy stripper glitter in your ashes.
I just
your
want-
ashes are going to congeal.
Okay, so you burn me up,
Got an idea.
burn me up.
Get a ball of your ashes because
Yeah.
they're going to be all goopy from the
They're
glitter.
not goopy.
The stripper glitter is like a goop.
Oh, fine. Okay, I don't want the goop. I just want.
I'm gonna go to a craft store. I'll put it.
Okay.
I'll get it for Greg.
I want super fine glitter, and I want to have glitter ashes. And I think perhaps gold. Like, I don't know if I want the pink glitter, but I'm thinking, and I just immediately went, yes, I want glitter in my ashes. That's what I want. Okay, listen. So back to our conversation about
Yeah.
what would Greg think. That's where this direction was going.
Yeah.
I said I want to be spread on Texada Island, where my ex-husband is also spread, and he looked at me and he's like, "Do you want to be spread in the same place?" And I'm like,
What'd you say?
"No, like I'll find my own place." And he's like, "Good." Like this was like one of those, this is a trick question and you better answer right. And so
Does part of you want to be?
it's a really nice area. Like
Why did he get the good spot?
why did he get the good dead spot? It's a really good spot.
He gets everything, that manipulator.
So no, so I can find my own spot on Texada. It's a very big island, but that's where okay, so back to the whole thing, like if I said I want to be buried with his ring, like he didn't even want me to be put in the same spot, in the same dead
Yeah.
spot. Like so no. So his
no.
my kids have his wedding ring, like you know,
Yeah.
like he didn't have a whole lot of stuff, but I think my daughter has his wedding ring. He's got a huge diamond, like weird. When we got married, he wanted this huge ring with like 4 rows of diamonds.
That was, I think, the style. I think my dad's wedding ring
Ugh.
has diamonds in it too.
And I immediately thought, who the hell wants that kind of ring? But so she has it. But what if I would say, no, it's what if I kept like a little,
shrine.
a shrine with his
Yeah.
ashes, and Greg would have none of it. I can tell you right
Yeah.
now that first of all, you shouldn't be jealous of your dead ex, but he would have none of it, you know?
No, I get it.
I
definitely get it. I could see if 30-year happy marriage and then like he died and you got together with somebody, you know, for the last 10 years of your life. You know, like you hear
Yeah.
those stories, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you know that you're just killing time with this new person. And your person was your original husband.
Yeah.
Like that would be different. But this lady was with that guy
For
for
4
4
years.
had a couple kids with him. Pass on the damn ring. It's not your ring.
No.
It's not her ring.
No.
That's a fucking selfish.
So
move.
for her to say, I'm going to be buried with it, nobody's getting it. Well, first of all, they're going to be like, you're dead, I'm taking the ring. Like,
so true.
like,
When
would
you
you?
put something in your will, like, can you like I put in my last will and testament that this is gonna be buried with me. Like, if somebody takes
Well,
it
you
out, is there
could,
any
but-
legal repercussions.
But so you're put in a crate and you're burned, and it's going to be melted. Like don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What a
when
waste.
John was cremated, the first thing they did was remove all his jewelry and
Yeah.
they set it aside. Like, you want me to throw this in the ashes? I can.
Seems like a waste.
Like what? That's insane.
But if you're just buried,
If you're buried, I guess you could.
like
Like-
people bury
Do you want to be buried? Like, how do you want to go?
Oh, cremated probably. I feel like I should figure that out. Do you have that all, my parents have that shit paid for already, and they have since they were like young married couple, because my dad, when
His cremation, it's not expensive.
no, but so what happened is my dad's parents died. I don't know if it was unexpected or what, but I don't think that it was like fully set out, like the funeral plans and everything,
Okay.
right? So it caused a bunch of issues with him and his sister, to the point where like they don't even talk anymore, because
For funeral plans?
it was like not just that, it was a whole bunch of everything, but it had to do with the parents' death and like not knowing what to do or whatever. So I think because of that, my parents, they have their plots picked out. They have literally, like, my mom tells me all the time, she's like, if we die, like, this is where the paperwork is stored. You just call the people, they take our bodies, you don't have to worry about anything. And they did that because they don't want us to have to like fight over anything, or like they've done it all. And I'm like, part of me is like, not a bad idea.
I talked to a ex-stepmother of mine a couple months ago, and she was laughing. She's in her 80s, and she says she has something called a drop dead file. So when she drops dead, you just open up the file, and
That's smart.
Yeah, drop dead file, and it tells you what her insurance is or who to call. Like, she gives you all the list. I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart.
I
but
feel like I need to get one of
a
those.
funeral plot is expensive, because I have a girlfriend whose mother is in a home right now, and she's got dementia, and you don't really have a whole lot of time left when you have dementia. But her mother specifically said that she wanted to be buried. She didn't want to be cremated. And so they're looking into plots like now, and it's like $35,000 or something. Like, yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like the amount of money, like for simple headstone, coffin.
Wow.
It's insane. And so when I recently did the whole thing with my ex-husband who died, and I think the whole cost for, cremation in a pine box was like $1,200. Like it was, including funeral expenses. Like it was not expensive just to have a very simple service. Like you don't need to pre-plan this stuff. You just, and I said to my kids, like, my big joke is that when I die, I want a Viking funeral. So I say, I want to be put on a raft. And I want them to make the raft. I want them to and I want one of those rugs on it like the Vikings have, and I want a Viking helmet, and I want them to
body.
Yes, on my dead body, and I want them to douse me with gasoline and set me off to sea, and then I want them to like shoot an arrow with fire and light me on fire, and then they need to scream Valhalla while I go out to sea. And Greg's like, that's not a real Viking funeral. I'm like, that's the funeral that I fucking want. And he's like, we'll all go to jail for like, I don't know what the charge is.
Sending a body out to sea on fire has got to be illegal in some capacity.
It's not legal,
Yeah.
but I've said it out here now so that if that's
This
the
is
way
my living will and testament.
living will and testimony. That is how I want to go. And you know what? The glitter coffin doesn't really work into that at all.
Well, neither does the stripper glitter.
No, but they're not going to do that.
Okay.
So plan B would be...
Go on.
So plan B would be burn me up the regular way. And then
put some stripper goop in.
Yeah.
Or you decided you want
Well, now that I'm thinking it's goopy, I think we can just go to the craft store. Maybe Michael's has, but like...
Well, they do. They have small glitter. I promise you.
So I want them to like mix it up like a salad.
Okay.
So that it's all...
Just put it in a jar and shake it.
Well, you get a lot of ashes. Like you get like a box of ashes like this, right? You got like a box. So you're going to need to like toss that somehow or find a shaker. Like maybe we could sell this. Like, you know how you're always looking for something on Amazon? You could have an ash shaker so they can mix the glitter with the ashes properly.
Totally.
This could be a thing.
This could be a business.
This could be a marketable. We could do this. We'll make so much money. Let us know if you want to, and we'll even provide the glitter. Because Amanda likes sales, so we'll buy it in bulk.
Well, duh. I'm not going to buy a little bit of glitter. I'm going to find it on sale and buy a lot of glitter, so we'll have lots left over.
Okay, so then I want it to be dispersed in a place
where your husband is. I get it.
No. I've been told by Greg that we will not be allowed to be distributed in the same place. But
what is the thought of like, you know how people would have family burial plots and you get married next to your husband and then you get married, you put your kids there. What happens with like marriages? Because then do you just put like...
I think that was back in the day before people got divorced. And can you imagine I'm paying for me and Like I said, it's expensive. Like
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I don't want to be buried. Like that just seems awful anyways.
I really just think when you're dead, you're dead. This is like a whole. I'm like, am I regretting saying this right now? It's a whole
No.
different conversation. But like, I don't care like what happens when I die. I really don't.
And that is probably
I want
why
it
I'm
to
being
be-
so funny.
Totally.
about
I
it.
want it to be as easy for the people around me as possible.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I like appreciate that my parents did what they did, because I'm literally, you're going to be grieving when your family members die. I don't want them to also have to plan, what are we going to do with
So
the
do you think that
body?
I'm asking too much to put glitter in my ashes? Is that too much for my children?
No, it's not too much to ask, I don't think. I don't think, because that's just like a quick flick of the wrist.
Okay, so what about you? What are your like? So that will be in my drop dead file because I
haven't-
think this is a good idea. I'm gonna say I'm gonna tell them exactly where I want to go, and I do have an idea of where I want my ashes distributed. And
Yeah.
I would just like them all to be there and just say some last words and just
Yeah.
say bon voyage, mom. Like
Yeah,
it's
peace
peace out. It's
Nice
been great
knowing
knowing
ya.
you. And I've told my children they better cry for a really long time. That's all.
For me, I don't really care about what happens to my ashes, whether I'm in like I think I'm gonna be cremated because that just seems more logical to
Yeah.
me. It just doesn't make sense. But like, like let's say whatever, for whatever reason I have to be buried, I don't care. I'm not the one who has
You're
to do
dead.
it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Funeral wise, I want it to be like a party.
A party, yeah.
I want people to come and tell stories and giggle, and then I'll just be sad that I'm not part of that because that's
Yeah.
my favorite shit in the world. But I want people to like think about happy times.
Maybe we should plan our funeral beforehand and we could have videos posted like on the wall and stuff. Like I think that would be great.
That would be great.
Like, hey guys, like knock knock knock. Like, like
yeah.
I know I'm not really here, but let's pretend.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
Like I want to hear the the favorite Monica story.
yeah. Everybody laughing and like
Yeah.
having fun. Like I want to be remembered, hopefully, as like somebody who just like likes having fun and laughing. So like I want that to be my legacy.
Well, hopefully you die really old,
so it's
and
not
then it's going to be just your kids. And you think that you can do that, but when you're in that state of mourning somebody, like the
Yeah.
people that love you cannot be funny.
they don't want to
can't-
sit there giggling about.
Well, they might want to, but it's really hard because
Yeah.
you're in this mist of pain, like in
Yeah.
this so.
Why do we always talk about depressing stuff?
Well, we went from funny, like it was funny.
Now I'm like, I don't want the people I love to die.
Yeah, well, hopefully we die first, and then we won't have to worry about that.
True. I say that to Carson all the time. Like, I better die before you because I
Oh.
don't want to. I don't know.
I seriously anticipate outliving everybody. Like that in my head is like when I was married to John, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll outlive you. And I think the same with Greg.
Interesting.
I'm like, oh, I for sure will outlive you.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I've always known, like my thought is I will live to 100. Like I am going to live forever and I'm going to outlive everybody.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
one of those
thought.
things though. When you think that, it's like the whole secret. You put it out into the universe, it will
Mhm.
happen. So good. I just don't want to be alone without my husband because I'm super fucking codependent.
There's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with loving somebody that much.
Yeah, like I just would not. I just don't know. Obviously, I would get over it. Like I'm saying that I
Okay,
would.
I'll be old. I'll be so old. You can just come and live with me.
I need somebody to fucking be my person. Like
Yeah.
I will attach to somebody if it's not him. So
As long as you, okay, you can come and live with me. I'll let you live with me. I've got a spare bedroom. Greg's dead,
okay,
and you
Okay.
you can do the cooking,
sure,
right? And you know what?
You're
Like,
gonna be so old. I'll be like, of
can you like push me around the wheelchair?
course. Oh fuck, it'll be so fun. Well,
And
that's today's episode.
Another great uplifting episode. Yeah.
If you guys have any comments on those topics, let us know. Like, how do you want to?
How do you want to go? Like, where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go? And go to our Facebook group. Comment on the post that we put on there.
Yeah, check out YouTube because we're even funnier live. So do
Yeah,
that.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we will catch you guys on the next one.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to It's Really None of Our Business podcast with Monica and Amanda. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you know all the places. If you've enjoyed this podcast, tell your friends, and please rate and review us where you can. If you are brave enough to reach out and ask us for advice, we will definitely read it out on our show. We'll totally keep your name anonymous, so what do you got to lose? You can reach us by email at ask.noneofourbusiness@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys soon. Ciao.